But first tonight, our continuing focus on demonetization and its fallout. Let me tell you the 5 big developments on this Monday. First, the government has moved amendments to the Income Tax Act that could make it tougher for black money holders. Option 1 is for black money holders to declare on their own their amount. They will have to pay tax along with a 10% penalty and 10% surcharge, a 50% tax. If the black money is detected by taxmen and not voluntarily disclosed, the tax penalty will be 60%. In addition, a penalty of 10% and a surcharge of 15% will have to be paid, equaling a whopping 85% of income tax. Not only this, 1/4 of the declared income will have to be deposited with the Income Tax Department for 4 years and cannot be withdrawn. The other 25% or rest of the black money that's been converted will be used by the government for 4 years in a special new fund to be called the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana and will be used to fund welfare schemes. The scheme will be notified after the bill is passed in Parliament. The last day for availing the scheme will be the 30th of December. So the government has made its move in Parliament by amending the Income Tax Act to try and strengthen its claim that it's going to be tough on black money. But the deadlock over demonetization is far from over in Parliament, which witnessed another washed out day. The opposition continues to ask for Prime Minister Modi's presence in Parliament in the Rajya Sabha during any debate. Outside Parliament, the opposition tried to corner the government in the streets through what they called the Jan Aakrosh Diwas. But clearly, with every passing day, divisions are also coming within the opposition. And the Bharat Bandh call clearly has fizzled out.
Rage against demonetization spilled out on the streets as Congress, DMC and left parties led protests across the country. Mamata Banerjee spearheaded the protest against note ban move in Kolkata, demanding a rollback of Prime Minister Modi's demonetization drive.
The Mamata Banerjee-led Trinamul Congress is out on the street. They're opposing the Bandh, but they're also opposing the Modi government's demonetization decision. Look at the amount of crowds, massive crowds here in Kolkata.
In Mumbai, a combined front of the NCP and Congress staged protest in the heart of the city.
Protesting against demonetization, the Congress and the NCP in Mumbai have taken to the streets. As you can see, a huge march, a Jan Aakrosh rally has been taken out by Congress and NCP in Mumbai.
Aam Aadmi Party led demonstrations in the national capital, accusing the Prime Minister for not maintaining transparency in the system.
Aam Aadmi Party leader standing on the stage addressing the gathering here in the national capital. It's not just the Aam Aadmi Party alone today, but even the Congress and the Trinamul Congress holding protests.
In Patna, protests were relatively muted as the Congress was not able to get support from the ruling JDU.
Right now we are at the Dak Bungalow roundabout in Patna. Here we are seeing that few Congress workers have now assembled at the Dak Bungalow roundabout and they are chanting slogans against the Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
DMK leader MK Stalin led the note ban protest in Tamil Nadu.
DMK stating that demonetization has not just dented economy of India but has definitely pushed us back towards the Stone Age.
Former Kerala Chief Minister Upmanship, who was leading the protest in Trivandrum, was detained by police.
UDF leaders including opposition leader Ramesh Channitala and former Chief Minister Upmanship arrested and taken by the police during a protest in front of Raj Bhavan by the Congress party.
With opposition divided on the issue, the Aakrosh rally did not generate the response that was expected. The Bharat Bandh call fizzled out except in the left-ruled states of Kerala and Tripura. Bureau Report, India Today.
So let me ask the big question today. A divided opposition, does that mean it is clearly now advantage Narendra Modi? That's the question I want to pose. Divided, some say discredited opposition, does that mean it's advantage Narendra Modi? Sambit Patra, national spokesperson of the BJP, is back Abhishek Manu Singhvi, Member of Parliament, National Spokesperson of the Congress. Mahua Mitra is MLA of the Trinamul Congress. She joined me from Kolkata. Atul Anjan is National Secretary of the CPI. Appreciate all of you joining us as we look at this issue. First to you, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, because clearly at the moment, the sense one is getting is that the opposition is badly divided on how to take on Narendra Modi. And today was a glaring example of it. You, for example, are in power in Bihar with the Janata Dal United. You are protesting, but Nitish Kumar, Janata Dal United is not. Clearly, in every sense, the opposition appears divided on how far you want to take these protests against Mr. Narendra Modi's demonetization move. Would you concede that on the streets today, you are a divided lot?
Rajdeep, you may be very, very partially and fractionally correct, but largely you are wrong. Let's get it into perspective. In the whole of India, there is a huge backlash and a huge upsurge against this conceptually, economically, practically, in terms of pain and in terms of the very object sought to be achieved. Now,
what is the base, sir? You have made a sweeping. You have made a sweeping statement. Just a minute, Dr. Singhvi. You have made a sweeping statement that there is anger on the streets. That anger at the moment is not being reflected. All the people today who are out on the streets were mainly political activists, not the Aam Aadmi. And the fact is that the Maharashtra municipal elections held today have shown the BJP winning. So where is this Aakrosh? Where is this anger that you talk about?
Rajdeep, if your questions are going to be 3 times the time of my answer, I have no problem. You just extend the time of your program and we'll get enough time. At the moment, I have spoken for about 30 seconds and you have spoken for 2 minutes. Let's reverse the ratios if you don't mind. I had just started saying that the barring Bihar and barring Odisha, where there is the governments in power have a slightly different approach. There is a large-scale unanimity across India at the government, state government level, barring the BJP-ruled states, and at every political party level. What you are talking about is differences of detail and nuance. Everybody is one in terms of finding it outrageous. Everybody is one in saying that there should be this and that palliative. Now, we may not be one in maximum 2 cases in terms of the remedies, but that doesn't detract from the fact, and I'm not talking of the public's anger, your questions are political parties. Every political party has joined in Rajya Sabha, my house, they've joined in Lok Sabha, they've joined in the states. The only 2 exceptions of which a lot of exaggeration is happening is the JDU and the Odisha ruling party, where also, by the way, their basic stand is with us, but there is, I agree, and that's why I said I'll fractionally and partially concede to you a difference of view. Now, you can't get in a democracy like India, the very substance of that democracy is this divergence of view. But for Mr. Modi or his party to think that this means that there is a fractured opposition would be the biggest blunder. There is no greater unanimity in the 2.5 years of this government on a issue across states and across party political line than this one. Tell me a single issue which has united the opposition more. Now, the difference of degree does not detract from the fundamental unity.
Dr. Singhvi, you made your point. You're only partially agreeing with me, but let me then take that to Mahua Mitra of the Trinamul Congress, because Mahua Mitra, the 2 images on Kolkata streets were interesting. The left calls for a bandh, but the Trinamul Congress has its own chief minister marching on the streets as part of a protest march. They don't join hands and do any joint protest. Each one of them is engaged in one upmanship. Your chief minister doesn't want to be seen with the left doesn't want to be seen with her. I mean, the sense one is getting is clearly no political opposition. The political opposition is simply playing a game of one upmanship. Whether it's Mamata Banerjee or whether it's the left. The left calls for a bandh. Mamata says, no, I will do my own independent protest march. So where is the unanimity in terms of how do you actually want to take on Mr. Narendra Modi's demonetization move?
Rajdeep, I think I'd like to sort of take your question and turn it on its head. I think that's a rather unfairly framed question. The first thing is, it is not the onus of it. The onus is not on the opposition to prove its credibility on this issue. The onus is very much on the ruling party and on the government to back and to sort of to prove its credibility on an issue that is not backed by law. It is completely not backed by law. That is morally incorrect in its stand, in that it seeks to divide the nation on if you're with us, you're patriotic, and if you're not, then you're a bunch of unpatriotic, corrupt hate mongers. And the third is one which is based on flawed economic policy. So I think the onus is very much on the ruling government on the day. It has nothing to do with the fact whether the different political parties have different parliamentary strategies and have different ways in protesting what is essentially a united front.
You say it is essentially a united front, but I get the sense that Mamata Banerjee is pitching herself as if she is the leader of this so-called opposition. Why can't, please tell me, do you concede that there are sharp divisions between you and the left?
Rajdeep?
Do you concede that there are sharp divisions between you and the left because you all are implacable enemies? Suddenly you find yourself in a situation where Narendra Modi has become your target number one, but you are unable to come on one platform.
Rajdeep, like I said, I said you're the anchor of the show. You can hypothesize about whether she's projecting herself as a leader or not. I'm the spokesperson for the party, and I'm certainly not going to agree with that. I think we've sort of we've removed the left after a 34-year regime, and in this issue we are against the BJP, and the left is against the BJP as well. That's what binds us together. But I don't think that the agenda for the Trinamul Congress is going to be laid by the left.
Okay, let me then come for a moment to Atul Anjan, because I just want to come to Sambit Patra last. I want to hear the opposition on this because that is my big question. Atul Anjan, the left, does it see any commonality with Mamata Banerjee on this issue? For the longest time you have accused Mamata Banerjee, whether in Sarda or Narda, of actually receiving large amounts of money in cash. Today on the issue of black money, can you be seen on the same platform as Mamata Banerjee? Do you believe that Mamata Banerjee is someone who can lead this movement against black money?
Rajdeep,
yes.
Today let us not discuss all these niceties and the political compulsions and what their strategy and tactics and all that. Today is the main question. Throughout, we from the left side has not given a Bharat Bandh call. Let us be very clear. We have said the people of this country will protest, project their protest, they will register their protest in various forms. Take the case in Bihar, in Patna, the people's artists, they with their drums and all that, they were on the street and singing songs. That was also a protest. People were distributing leaflets. That was also a protest.
Mr.
People
Anjan,
were
I asked you a question.
That was also a protest. In
Do you
many
believe
places, they
Mamata
have stopped
Banerjee has
vehicles.
the credentials to lead this protest?
No, I'm just...
Do you believe a Lalu Prasad Yadav has the credentials to lead the protest? Do you believe that DMK with Kani Modi and Dayanidhi Maran have the locus and the credibility to lead a protest on black money?
No. I am here to protest on the black money. The concept of the government, the way they have brought, you see, standstill to all, you see, trade and all that, the people's hardship, they are in queue. They are already protested. Now the political activists, you said only political activists. Yes, in a democracy, political activists protest. So I am not going to answer all what was your hypothesis and questions. I am here that there is a broad understanding to register the protest, and that way, our strategy was the CPI, CPM, RSP, Forward Bloc, ML and all that. March separately, strike together. Though everybody was striking against this, the concept of the Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi ji.
Okay.
We were not said the Bharat Bandh. It is the Pradhan Mantri who said in Kushinagar Bharat Bandh. He used to make all the things which is not with the reality. He makes many things, you see.
Mr. Anjan, Mr. Anjan, just a minute.
Necessity of the time.
Mr. Anjan, you are saying that this is
a understanding inside the parliament and outside. There was an understanding.
There was an understanding. Sambit Patra, these images that are playing out since the morning in different parts of the country, political activists belonging to different parties have come out against the government. Do you see this as any kind of threat, or do you believe this is an advantage to the BJP? Because the BJP, as the Prime Minister has chosen to put it, is saying, do you want black money Bandh or do you want Bharat Bandh? So the Prime Minister has very cleverly played it and really looked at this issue by positioning the opposition as being pro-black money. Do you think that he's being a little unfair, Narendra Modi, in saying that anyone who protests demonetization is pro-black money? Is this the way the debate and dialogue should take place?
Rajdeep, as far as your first question, the initial question is concerned, that if the opposition, which is not divided, which is not united on this issue, which presents itself as a divided house, who is it going to benefit? Mr. Modi or the Bharatiya Janata Party? I would say I would be reducing the debate into small platform if I just think about the Prime Minister or the Bharatiya Janata Party, as would the Prime Minister himself think. In fact, would benefit the country in large. That the opposition today has been exposed in front of the people, as Ms. Moitra was also pointing out, that the onus to prove the credibility lies with the government. And with the Bandh call going flop, with this Aakrosh Diwas going a flop, and when the opposition is exposed, the largest beneficiary is the country, because the country, the astonishing part is, despite the fact that people were facing inconveniences, are still facing inconveniences, they are standing rock solid behind the Prime Minister, rock solid behind the scheme of demonetization.
You're not answering my question.
Yes.
If I question demonetization, if I protest against it, does that mean I am pro-black money? Is this what the Prime Minister of the country wants everyone to believe? Is this what you believe? That today, if I question demonetization and its benefits and its execution, am I pro-black money?
Not at all. The Prime Minister never said that. Right from the very beginning, let me remind you, on the very first day when the Parliament session began,
the Prime Minister said exactly that. The Prime Minister said the choice is between black money Bandh and Bharat Bandh. Do you want to be with those who are black money, who want black money Bandh, or those who want Bharat Bandh? The Prime Minister's exact words were that in Kushinagar.
I know my Prime Minister's word. I know my Prime Minister's word more than what you have stated over here, Mr. Rajdeep Sardesai, but give me some time. I would conclude as to why the Prime Minister was absolutely right. I mean, right from the day one, that is November 16, when the Prime Minister, when the High Offices, the Minister said that we all are ready for debates and discussion. Well, yes, there are inconveniences, so please go ahead, ask your questions, put up your suggestions. We will take your suggestions. If that was the aim of the opposition to ease out the inconveniences, we were with the opposition, we should have worked together. But the opposition was divided. There were houses in the opposition who were in the morning saying that they were with the demonetization, and by the evening half of the members were saying that please roll back the demonetization. The whole of the opposition is confused, and this confounded confusion of the opposition only points to the fact that somewhere or other the opposition is trying to protect the corrupt. The opposition is trying to protect the ones who are holding the black money. Because if you are concerned about the inconveniences of the people, come and debate on the floor of the Parliament. Don't disrupt the normal life. This confusion is what has exposed the opposition.
Okay, opposition is confused, and you are confused in Parliament and outside. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, let me play you a graphic, Dr. Singhvi, and I want you to respond. Because washouts and scams, Dr. Singhvi, a 2 hours washout, for example, means 3 crores, which is the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha bribery case. 1 day washout is 7 crores, which is the fodder scam of 1990. 2 days washout, 20 crores, HDW submarine scam. 3 days washout, 32 crores, the UTI scam of 2001. 7 days washout, 64 crores, the famous Beaufort scam. 15 days washout becomes the urea scam. The sense that Dr. Singhvi, when I play these figures, is that taxpayers' money is once again being wasted in Parliament because the opposition is confused. You have decided that unless Prime Minister Modi is present throughout the debate, there will be no debate. Dr. Manmohan Singh says, I support the objectives of demonetization, but I protest against the way it's being executed. There seems to be confusion.
Rajdeep, 3 or 4 points.
Yes,
the
sir.
reason I was putting up my hand earlier,
yes,
I just wanted to make a short, quick point before I answer your question. That there is a rather delicious irony in that you started the program by saying a lack of unity. I think it's really a perception of whether you see the glass 1/4 full or 3/4 full or 1/4 empty. Because I think we fail to notice that 2 sworn enemies, never more antithetical poles of political life than the left and the Trinamul in Bengal, have actually talked after decades on an issue like this. Can anybody have more gigantic unity of the opposition than even the very possibility of Mamata Banerjee's party and the left talking to each other for a possible coordination? I think that is what Mr. Modi has achieved. You might be seeing the 25% glass half empty, but not the large amount of it which is full. Now coming to your question, I think as far as disruption in Parliament is concerned, which is not the subject matter of this program, let me tell you that published statistics prove, that the BJP, which has been immediately prior to 2 years ago, 10 years out of power, 10 years, their disruptions of parliamentary sessions have been 5 times more, I repeat 5 times more than disruptions by the present opposition. You are talking of what, 10 days, 7 days? We've had whole sessions wiped out hardly 2.5, 3 years ago on trivial issues like JPC.
Dr.
I think
Singhvi,
public memory is short.
Dr. Singhvi,
so let's be clear.
Dr. Singhvi, the message going out,
by and large,
the perception is that the perception is, yes, the Prime Minister does not want to sit through a debate and take questions, but the perception also is that the opposition does not want to go through a full debate.
Can I answer now? I was... Let me just answer. I've answered 2 of your points. The third aspect is that the Prime Minister, the debate did start. The Prime Minister has spoken, he has made this into his biggest initiative of his political life. He has promulgated it, he has spoken to the nation, he has spoken about it 100 times a day everywhere. If Parliament asks him to be around right through the debate to take it seriously, how is it not strange that this Prime Minister is speaking in Japan to Man Ki Baat? He's speaking on AIR and radio and television, but he doesn't want to speak in Parliament, and it's only now that you're having very reluctantly and belatedly, highly belatedly, this offer that he will reply. The official offer has come today that he will be there to respond.
Can I get Sambit Patra to respond to that? Sambit Patra, please respond to what Dr. Singhvi is saying. Dr. Singhvi is saying that a Prime Minister who can speak in Man Ki Baat on Sunday, who can go across the country campaigning on demonetization, cannot face opposition questions in the Rajya Sabha. Why?
In Japan...
I'll answer this, but a very important issue.
No, please answer this. Please answer this.
Just a second,
No, I want you to answer this.
Just a second.
Don't divert it.
I would have answered this by now. I'm not diverting it, but Mr. Singhvi in fact gave away the whole game. I never expected an erudite lawyer like him to give away the game. He said that what Mr. Modi has achieved through this demonetization is arch rivals like Mamata Banerjee and the left have come together on a common plank. This I would call as the reeking politics of opportunism. Remember, never before in the history did these two political parties get any opportunity of common benefit for people. They had to come together. Is this the only issue on which they felt that the whole world was falling apart?
No.
Were there not
Dr. Patra, please answer my question. Dr. Patra, answer my question. The Prime Minister can do a Man Ki Baat. He can go across the country talking about demonetization, but he cannot talk about it in Parliament. Why?
No, who said that he would not talk in the Parliament?
Why can he not sit in a debate? Why can he not sit through a debate? How is he that busy that he cannot sit through a debate?
Rajdeep, you must not be watching television. Rajdeep,
the Prime Minister has not sat through the debate. He refused to sit through the debate.
You have to allow a spokesperson to speak. You are not interrupting Abhishek Manu Singhvi the same manner.
I was. Please if you go away from the topic, I will interrupt you. Otherwise, I won't. You are not answering me.
I am not. I'm answering you, Rajdeep. Probably you missed those 2 debates when the Prime Minister, both in Lok Sabha as well as in Rajya Sabha, was sitting through the debate. But yet the opposition, in fact, did not allow the debate to happen. Opposition has been changing its goalpost right from the very beginning. Number 3, you know that both Mr. Arun Jaitley, the Finance Minister on the floor of Rajya Sabha, and today Rajnath Singh, the Home Minister on the floor of Lok Sabha, categorically mentioned that when the time be, the Prime Minister will intervene in this subject. The irony is the opposition does not even ask the questions and they want the answers. How can the Prime Minister answer to unasked questions? Have you asked the questions? You want the answers to come first without the questions? What kind of opposition is this?
Okay, that's your answer. But Mahua Mitra, it's very interesting. What seems to really... No, 1 minute. Mahua Mitra, what seems to be happening, Mahua Mitra and Atul Anjan, I'll come to both of you. No, 1 minute, Atul Anjan. Mahua Mitra, what seems to be happening is the Prime Minister has pulled the rug under your feet. The fact is that he has actually taken over the political narrative. He's reaching out directly to the people, including the poor, by projecting himself as some kind of a Robin Hood who's going to take away from the rich and give to the poor. For parties like the Trinamul and the left, that means he's taking away even part of your constituency. You are scared, Mahua Mitra, what the Prime Minister is doing, because this could be his Indira Gandhi moment of 1969, where he builds a new constituency for himself. Are you worried? And that's why you're hitting the street. Mamata Banerjee is betraying nervousness.
Yes, I think Mamata Banerjee definitely needs to take a lesson or two from the 56-cent chest of the Prime Minister and sort of learn the aaj kuch tifani karte hai kind of politics that he seems to be excelling at. Rajdeep, number one. The second thing is, I'd like to come in very quickly on what the BJP spokesperson just said, and I'm surprised you didn't get him on that. He's prevaricating completely on national television, and he said that the Prime Minister sat through the debate. I think all of India saw on Rajya Sabha television. I'll be delighted to pay for a subscription for him if he doesn't have access to RSTV. It's the Prime Minister came in for, I think, an hour and a half on one day and sat through three speeches, that of the Bahujan Samaj Party, of the Trinamul Congress, and I think of the Samaj Party. After lunch,
Mahua Mitra, is it not true? Is it not true that regional parties work on cash?
That is completely
regional
incorrect.
parties work on cash increasingly, and the Prime Minister has cut your cash. That's why there is desperation. That's why there is this nervousness in parties like Trinamul. Your party works on a cash economy.
Rajdeep, from your questioning, it would seem that the BJP seems to work on a cashless economy and has spent what is the largest advertising spend for any party in the history of Indian politics in the last 5 years. And I'd be very surprised to know if that money came from the planet Mars or Pluto. So let's answer that question first. 80% of their source of funding is unaccounted and is from unknown sources. So let's have state funding on elections. We called for it in 2004 in our manifesto. The Prime Minister, for all his sort of bravado, has not yet come out and said let's have state funding on elections. So when we have that, let us start casting aspersions on different parties. And by the way, we're not a regional party, we're a national party, I'll have you know. Thank you so much.
But on that note, to you, Atul Anjan of the left, the question I originally posed, is Narendra Modi, a right-wing politician, taking the votes of the poor away from you? That's why parties like the left have no answer. He's now reaching out to the poor. Today he's saying he's going to have a Garib Kalyan Yojana. He's going to increase tax penalties for those who are caught with black money, who don't disclose their income. He is doing to you what will perhaps finish your vote bank. He's reaching out to the poor.
Rajdeep, we have seen this BJP government earlier also. People were talking too much about when Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the Prime Minister, and what we have seen, what shining India, what sort of, you see, problem it has to face and where they collapse. I just want to say one thing. If two parties, two political adversaries party, if they are on a national paramount importance, come together and talk something and act on some issue together, you think it's a very big bad thing. And I just want to know what happened in Jammu Kashmir. Those who were called for 20 years anti-national PDP people, now BJP is joining hand with them, and the PDP is the chief minister.
Sir, let's not divert issues.
Despite all that, no, there is no peace and tranquility on the border.
Atul Anjan, the left more than any. Atul Anjan, the left more than any other party has stood up against black money. The left has always spoken out against black money. Today the Prime Minister claims, we don't know the actual benefits, but claims he's going to take on black money holders, he's going to prosecute them, he'll impose higher penalties. Should the left not be with him?
I just want to say, if the Prime Minister is very much interested to participate in the debate, and he will reply back, why he doesn't stand up and says, Madam Speaker, I am here, sitting, hearing the different viewpoints, I will reply back. He could have said it. Why he is not speaking and some minister is speaking on his behalf? Do you think he is so top that he will not reply? He will not even speak in front of the speaker? What sort of thing the country is facing now?
No, 1 minute. I want to get final comments from all. Just a minute. Yes, Sambit Patra, you are not answering my basic question, that we have a Prime Minister who likes one-way communication. This is not a Prime Minister who likes hard questions, which is why in the Rajya Sabha, where he will be asked those hard questions, he doesn't want to face the opposition. That is also a reality. Yes, the opposition is divided. Yes, it is discredited. But the Prime Minister also doesn't want to face hard questions.
Who said that? I mean, in fact, look, let's not take the people of this country for granted. They understand all these nuances, and that's the reason as to why we have an election result that we have in the local bodies of Maharashtra today. And when the WhatsApp, the Narendra Modi app results were out, 5 lakh, the same opposition parties were saying, this is not representative voting. What does 5 lakh people mean? These are bhakts which are voting. And today the local body election in Maharashtra, where they're all bhakts who are voting us. Did we win because of the bhakts only? Thanks that India is gradually becoming what I would say bhaktified, if that's what they mean to say. But the larger point is, the session is not over. The winter session is still on. The Prime Minister would definitely intervene on this issue. The tall ministers have called upon that issue. So please, let the Parliament function. Let seriousness ensue. Let the opposition not expose itself any further. Let it be mature and sincere, because this is a fight against the black economy of the country. This is a fight against terror funding. Naturally, they should stand together on this very serious issue. If they have questions,
sir, but there are serious problems.
We are ready to come together.
Mr. Sambit Patra, the success of the Prime Minister is that he has convinced the country that demonetization will lead to the end of terror funding. It will lead to the end of black money. There are huge question marks whether that will actually happen, which is why there needs to be a more informed debate rather than this simplified debate, black money Bandh or Bharat Bandh, or anti-national or nationalistic. But to you, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, there is a point in what Sambit Patra said. When there was a WhatsApp poll, you said this is a poll sponsored by the Prime Minister by Bhaks. Now in municipal elections, the BJP is leading in Maharashtra. In the by-polls, the BJP did well. Are you conceding at least that the Prime Minister at the moment has the political edge? Because you are discredited. How can a Dayanidhi Maran, who's been involved, who's been accused in a serious scam, a Kani Modi accused in a serious scam, a Lalu Prasad accused in a serious scam, a Mamta Banerjee who has faced, whose party men have faced charges in Sarda, how can they stand up and claim they are against black money? Or the Congress party, which itself presided over the scams between 2009 and 14. That's the problem. He has hit you where it hurts and he's benefiting.
Rajdeep, that's your question formulated in response to the BJP's response just now, really underscores the fundamental fallacy of this debate as framed by the BJP. Let me concede that every criminal in this country who is in for black money doesn't have a right to speak, and black money must be exterminated. Let me concede that fake currency must be exterminated. Let me concede that soiled and unusable notes must go out, and let me concede that cashless economy must reign here. Put your hand on your heart, Rajdeep, and ask anybody here, will any of these 4 possible objectives be achieved by what has been done? The debate is that it's been taken to the first point. You cannot have for 400 crores, which is the Indian Statistical Institute's published study. By the way, ISI had Mahalur Baris, PC Chakravarti, so many people, outstanding statisticians, have published a report officially long time ago. 400 crores is the maximum of fake currency in this country. Please double it arbitrarily. For 1,000 crores, would anybody demonetize 15 lakh crores? The totality of unaccounted black money cash is published reports 6%. Did Mr. Modi know that when he demonetized?
Sir, you may be right with your figures. You may be right with your figures, but the people believe Mr. Modi more than the Congress. The people seem to be believing Mr. Modi more than the opposition.
What is the point you are debating? All that you are saying, Rajdeep, all that you are saying is that the moment I argue on merits, on debate, I am a supporter of all the illegalities. That's the old fascist way of looking at things. If you disagree with me, you are anti-national. As somebody put it, if you don't use this khadi, you are anti-national. If you don't use Patanjali shampoo, you are anti-national. That's the point.
Sir, at the end of the debate, the people seem to be at the moment, the credibility of the Prime Minister
you would
seems
not
higher
need
than the
Patanjali
opposition.
shampoo or any shampoo.
The
just
credibility of the opposition is at stake.
Just a parting rhetoric. You would not need any shampoo, Mr. Singhvi.
But those who
No, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there now. Let's leave it on that. Who needs shampoo or not, I don't know. But I will tell you one, Mr. Patra, while you smile, please understand. A friend of mine today was at New Delhi railway station. A number of construction workers are migrating back to their villages because construction sites are closing. Please understand that, Mr. Patra. So while you on this program
we understand that.
Yes. I hope you do, and I hope you empathize with people who are going back to their villages. I hope you empathize with those who are losing their jobs also.
When the disease was huge, naturally there would be some pain, but we would get back.
I see. It's very nice in an AC studio to talk about pain, sir.
Rajdeep, they seeds and the fertilizers and their ideas sitting on their land.
Yes, Dr. Singh.
Rajdeep.
Yes.
I mean, with this kind of logic, it means that just because... Just a second.
Rajdeep, 2 sentences.
Mr. Singhvi, since a number of questions were raised by you and some questions asked by Rajdeep, just give me 2 seconds and then you can please continue.
Yes.
Just 2 seconds.
Yes.
I mean, with this kind of logic, that just because... Just a second. This kind of logic, that just because one act of demonetization would probably not end all the black money, would probably not suffocate all the Naxals, probably not dry up all the terror fund, we should just keep a hand on hand and seated. We should not be doing anything. Is a faulted logic. It is a beginning.
Okay.
It is not the end.
Let's leave
and it is a big beginning.
Okay, it's a big beginning is what the government claims. The opposition claims it's only...
Rajdeep,
Yes.
2 sentences.
Yes, 2 sentences
Rajdeep,
only.
2 sentences.
Yes.
It is not. It is not.
Can we answer?
It is not.
Somebody.
I'd like to
harassment of the people. The countryside is on standstill.
Somebody mentioned
the
shampoo.
farmers and agriculture
Somebody
workers are
mentioned
weeping.
shampoo.
Yes.
Rajdeep,
Yes, what is your point, Dr. Singhvi? Quickly.
Somebody mentioned shampoo in response to my... Somebody mentioned shampoo in response to my Patanjali shampoo. What has happened is that the Prime Minister has tried to shampoo 87%. Can I just finish, please?
Yes.
The Prime Minister of this country has tried to shampoo 87% of our currency because somebody has sold him a lemon to believe that it will become shining
But why are you conditioning the black money?
Really,
Let's leave it there,
We
guys.
are trying to shampoo off the black money. Why
Let's
are
leave
you
it now.
conditioning?
That's it. That's it. I'm afraid we have to leave it there. Once you enter a serious debate on demonetization and it starts ending with what shampoo someone should be using, you know that you're completely drifting away from the central issue. And the central issue is, do you have a divided and discredited opposition at the moment, which means at least the political advantage. Forget about the long-term economic benefits or otherwise off the move. At the moment, the political advantage may well be resting with Narendra Modi. In fact, the other big story, Khalistani terrorist Harminder Singh Mittu, who was arrested last night in the national capital, has been remanded to 7 days police custody. The Delhi police, along with their Punjab counterparts, arrested the Khalistani Liberation Force chief late last night from the Nizamuddin railway station in Delhi. He had reached Delhi after travelling some of the distance from Patiala by car and the rest by bus. He had also reportedly shaved his beard to avoid recognition. Joining me now is Atir Khan, who's been tracking this jailbreak story. Atir, do we still have an idea as to how and who was responsible for this entire plot of breaking in the jail, and what are the authorities saying about jail security now?
Well, it's very interesting so far, Rajdeep. What we have learnt is that Hardeep Singh is not the mastermind, but then there are two different stories which are emerging from UP and Delhi. The one being that Parminder Singh is the mastermind, the person who was arrested with a huge cache of arms and ammunition with his Fortuner car. The other theory, as per the interrogation of Harmeet Singh, is that the third person who's now been nabbed, called Gurpreet Singh Shekhon, is the mastermind. So there are different theories which are coming in, but as far as the security is concerned, Rajdeep, there are major loopholes in the security setup in the jail behind me. But today, senior officers of the jail administration visited. They have taken a detailed survey to plug these loopholes.
Was there a CCTV camera, for example, in the jail? There's a question mark. Where is the CCTV camera? Do we have the CCTV footage in this supposedly high security jail?
Well, yes, indeed, there are CCTV cameras installed inside. One is right beyond this gate behind me. But there are reports that some of the CCTV cameras were not functional. That needs to be corroborated. Now, there was a lot of, repairing work which was carried out today in the CCTV setup. So perhaps they're trying to put things in place. But yes, the CCTV cameras are present inside, Rajdeep.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there, Atir Khan. Quick update there on the latest on that jailbreak involving Khalistani terror. While mining baron Janardhan Reddy made news for spending 500 crores on his daughter's wedding, we thought today we'd bring you an only in India story. In the age of demonetization, a shadi that costs just 500 rupees. Take a look.
Keeping up with the theme of cash crisis, a couple in Surat got married for only 500 rupees. People getting married in the country have reported facing various problems, specifically paying for wedding expenses. So a couple from Surat decided to cut short their wedding expenses by just a little bit. They only had to pay for the wedding hall and the tea they served to their guests. Even Prime Minister Modi praised them at their Mann Ki Baat address.
गुजरात में सूरत में एक बेटी ने अपने यहाँ शादी में जो लोग आए उनको सिर्फ चाय पिलाई और कोई जलसा नहीं किया, न खाने का कार्यक्रम, कुछ नहीं। भरत और दक्षा को मैं बहुत बहुत आशीर्वाद भी देता हूं और शादी के मौके को भी इस महान यज्ञ में परिवर्तित करके एक नए अवसर में पलट देने के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं।
In these trying times, the story offers some respite for the many tales of darkness. Bureau Report, India Today.
Interesting story there, a wedding within rupees 500. Just one question though to the Prime Minister. While he celebrates that wedding, what about some of his own party colleagues and the lavish weddings they have for their children? Will Mr. Narendra Modi put an end to that? Or will there be different rules for our netas as always? That's a question for perhaps the Prime Minister to answer if and when he speaks in Parliament, where he should be speaking, not just in his Mann Ki Baat. We'll leave that though for another day and see what the Prime Minister says as and when he speaks in Parliament.